Good afternoon to those that are going to be promoted, and to family and friends and coworkers as well. Today we're here to do our informal, which is something that I started doing when I became chief. I like to be able to present you with your brass on day one when you're going to go out there and take over your new duties. You will be included in the promotional ceremony with the entire agency and the sheriff, which will be the more formal one. But today's an important day. It's an important day for all of you and for me as well, because I get to pass on some of my thoughts. I'll keep them brief. But each of you have challenged yourselves. You've had years of service already, and you've challenged yourselves to move on and take on higher responsibilities. For the drivers, you guys are going to be managing complex pieces of equipment, responsible for them, and responsible for your brothers and sisters that are on the end of the hose lines, on the end of the ladder, and there's no bigger responsibility than that, and it's a great achievement, and I commend you all for that. For the lieutenants in the room that are being promoted, you're moving up to being a company officer. You have the responsibility of an entire crew, commanding a scene, multiple unit scene. The leadership value is huge there for all of you, for the drivers and for the lieutenants. You're being watched. We're always being watched by the entire community, the people that we serve, and your leadership is seen, or the lack thereof is seen. You're also being watched by the people that you work with. You've singled yourselves out as leaders, people that want to move on, move up, and your good days and your bad days are going to be seen. You are an example for those you work with. So you got to make that example a positive one, and one that drives everyone forward. I'm very proud of everyone here, and I'm looking forward to the impact of your ascension into the next rank, impacting those that you work with, and definitely making the agency look as excellent as it is in the eye of the public. So with that, I am going to begin to recognize the drivers first, and then we'll move on to the lieutenants. And I'm going to leave you all with a fire chief's coin as part of your presentation and your accomplishments today. Promoted to driver engineer, Joel Miles. Come on up. Joel, here you go. Put this one in your pocket. And here's your shield.
Thank you, Chief.
And your badge.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations. Yes, got it.
Trying to get the flag in the back, too.
Okay.
One more?
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Congratulations. There's a lot of them. Promoted to driver engineer, Kyle Robbins. You don't have to juggle, so you can put that one in your pocket.
Yes, sir.
Here's your helmet shield.
Thank you, Chief.
And let's
Thank you,
take
sir.
a picture. Congratulations.
There you go. One more.
That's a lot of clicking.
Thank you.
All right, I got a promoted to driver engineer, Reynaldo Garcia. All right, and go in your pocket. Here's your shield. All right. All right. Promoted to driver engineer, John Muehlman. Well, John. Making me feel short. I am short. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Promoted to driver engineer, Richard Alexander. Richard, you put that in your pocket. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, here's your shield. Flip this baby around. Okay, promoted to driver engineer, Stephen Hamlin. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Here's your shield.
Thanks, Chief.
There you go. Okay, promoted to driver engineer, Brittany Riddle Berenson. Congrats.
Thank you, Chief.
Here's one of these. Here's your shield
Thank you.
and your badge. Here you
Right here.
go. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Promoted to driver engineer, Jamil Canty. Jamil, congratulations, man. Here's one of these. We'll put that away.
Yes, sir.
Here's your shield. All right, ready? You know, to the families that are here, the driver engineer is a huge responsibility, in charge of millions of dollars of equipment, and more so, as I said before, the lives of the people that are working on the truck and keeping that equipment operational and at optimum capacity for when you're in a fire or driving to a scene, all those hazardous things that the men and women of the Broward Sheriff's Office Fire Rescue do. Okay. Jamil. Okay, promoted to driver engineer, Kevin Hernandez. Let's take that one. There's your shield. Ready? Promoted to driver engineer, Corey Lewis. Congratulations, Corey. Here's a coin for you. Your shield. All right. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, and as you stay longer in these positions, you start to see people moving on. And the next candidate I actually hired while I was in Dania Beach for a year before we merged, as I was the fire chief there. So promoted to driver engineer, Mark Riggio. It's like a full life cycle thing. Here you go. All right, here's your shield. All right. Promoted to driver engineer, Matthew Cogdill. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Here's that for you. It's your shield.
Thank you.
Right? All right, now to the guy that's helping me from the back, telling me who's here and not here. Promoted to driver engineer, Stephen Kravanek. Give me that. Here.
Thanks, Chief.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
There you go. Here's your shield. All right, ready? Yep. See what Kane can do here.
Work your magic on wide angle.
I'm trying to get the whole mustache.
All right, promoted to Lieutenant Jeremiah Tomasini. Congratulations. Proud of you. Here you go. And throw that at somebody. Here's your shield. All right. Promoted to Lieutenant Sasha Slack. Congratulations. All right. Here's your shield. So as I mentioned before, it's a great event to have you here today to acknowledge your efforts, the efforts of your family and friends behind you as you studied for the promotional exam. Those of us that have been through that road know that each time it's a ordeal for yourselves and for your families that support you in the endeavors of preparing yourself and studying. But most important to me is to be able to have a few minutes with you before you hit the street. So we have that one-on-one because I think the responsibility is huge, representing the agency and the industry of fire rescue. And with that, I congratulate you all, your families and friends. Have a great afternoon, and go enjoy your new brass. Good afternoon.